Why Bitcoin is falling right now. Ant wakes up, checks portfolio. Bitcoin down 35%. Ant screams. Ant blames government. Ant also blames Moon. Queen says, stay calm. Worker ant already selling everything. Rich ant says, I saw this coming. Nobody asked rich ant. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is cryptocurrency. Ant calls it digital money. Ant also can't touch it. Makes Ant nervous. Bitcoin lives on blockchain. Ant doesn't know what blockchain is. Ant pretends to understand it parties. People buy Bitcoin hoping price goes up. Sometimes it does. Right now, it doesn't. Ant suffers. Why ants care? Bitcoin hit $126,000 in October. Ant felt like genius. Ant told everyone at Fungus Farm. Now Bitcoin at $83,000. Ant lost $600 billion in market value. Ant cries in tiny ant bedroom. How Bitcoin fell. The crash timeline. October. Bitcoin reaches $126,000. Ant celebrates. Buys tiny sports car. November. Bitcoin drops to $100,000. Ant says, just a dip. Ant wrong. Late November, Bitcoin falls below $90,000. Ant sells sports car. Needs money for therapy. Now, Bitcoin around $83,000. Ant questions all life choices. Why is Bitcoin falling? Reason 1, tech stock panic. Tech stocks falling hard. Investors think AI bubble popping. When tech sneezes, Bitcoin catches cold. Ant owns Nvidia stock too. Ant's whole portfolio dying. Rich Ant says, diversify. Still nobody likes Rich Ant. Reason 2, Federal Reserve drama. Fed might not cut interest rates in December. Jobs data too strong. Probability of rate cut only 40%. Ant doesn't understand Federal Reserve. Ant just knows higher rates equal bad for Bitcoin. Ant brain hurts from economics. Reason 3, leverage liquidations. Traders use 10-to-1 leverage on Bitcoin. Price dropped a little, margin calls triggered. Forced selling everywhere. Think of it like borrowing 10 sugar cubes. Only have 1 sugar cube as deposit. Sugar price drops, bank takes everything. Worker ant used leverage once. Worker ant now works 3 jobs. Worker ant regrets decisions. Reason 4, ETF outflows. Bitcoin ETF saw $1.26 billion flow out. That means institutions selling. Big money leaving equal big problem. Ant thought institutions were smart money. Turns out institutions also panic. Ant feels betrayed. Reason 5, long-term holders taking profit. Old ants bought Bitcoin at $30,000, made 200% gains. Smart old ants selling now, taking vacation to Sugar Cube Resort. New ants bought at $120,000. New ants suffering greatly. New ants learning expensive lesson. Reason 6, death cross formation. 50-day moving average crossed below 200-day moving average. Traders call this the death cross. Ant thinks name is unnecessarily dramatic. Death cross signals downtrend. Technical traders sell when they see it. Creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. More selling happens. Reason 7, psychological levels breaking. Bitcoin broke below $100,000, then broke below $90,000. Every broken level equal more panic. Ant read that fear and greed index shows extreme fear. Ant agrees. Ant terrified. Ant checking price every 3 minutes.
Ant examples from the colony. Worker ant story. Worker ant bought Bitcoin at $115,000. Used entire savings. Boss ant said, don't invest what you can't lose. Worker ant ignored advice. Now down 28%. Worker ant eats ramen noodles for foreseeable future. Rich Ant's reaction. Rich Ant bought at $40,000 in 2023. Still massively up. Rich Ant posts screenshots. Still profitable. Other ants block Rich Ant. Rich Ant confused why nobody invites him to picnics. Rich Ant lacks emotional intelligence. Queen's wisdom. Queen says, market goes up. Market goes down. Queen says, think long term. Queen also panic sold at $95,000. Queen, hypocrite. Panic Ant. Panic Ant sold everything at $88,000. Bitcoin bounced to $93,000 the next day. Panic Ant bought back higher, lost money both ways. Panic Ant now sobbing in a corner. Other ants bring Panic Ant a cookie. Cookie helps a little. Risks Ant learned about the hard way. Volatility. Bitcoin can drop 35% in 6 weeks. Ant's heart cannot handle this stress. Ant schedules doctor appointment. Leverage is dangerous. 10-to-1 leverage sounds fun until liquidation happens. Then leverage is nightmare fuel. Following hype. Everyone said Bitcoin to $200,000. Ant believed hype. Ant bought at the top. Classic Ant mistake. FOMO. Fear of missing out. Ant saw neighbors getting rich. Ant jumped in late. Ant now understands what buy high, sell low means. Common mistakes ants made. Ant bought during euphoria. Ant ignored warnings. Ant thought this time is different. It wasn't. Ant used leverage without understanding margin calls. Ant lost more than initial investment. Ant learned math can be cruel. Ant panic sold at the bottom. Ant locked in losses. Ant gave up right before potential recovery. Ant listened to influencers. Influencers also lost money. Turns out followers mean nothing in a bear market.
Tips for ants, so this doesn't happen again. Only invest what you can afford to lose. Ant repeats this 50 times. Maybe Ant remembers next time. Dollar cost averaging works better than lump sum. Buy a little each month, smooths out crazy volatility. Never use leverage until you understand liquidation risk. Actually, just never use leverage. Leverage is trap for ants. Diversify your portfolio. Don't put all seeds in one basket. Some Bitcoin, some stocks, some actual seeds. Ignore short-term price movements. Bitcoin dropped 80% in 2018, then hit new highs. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Ant hopes. Read the news, but don't panic. Fed policy matters, but daily price swings don't define your future. Have an exit strategy before you invest. Know when you'll take profit. Know when you'll cut losses. Ant didn't have strategy. Ant just vibed. Vibing is not investment strategy. What happens next? Some experts say Bitcoin could fall to $74,000. That's the 161.8% Fibonacci extension level. Ant pretends to know what that means. Other experts say oversold conditions mean bounce coming. Bitcoin has corrected 20 to 30% 5 times in past bull markets. Maybe this is just normal correction. Smart ants accumulating at lower prices. Patient ants waiting for $74,000 zone. Panic ants still crying. Several ants offering emotional support. Federal Reserve meeting in December will be critical. Rate cut equals good for Bitcoin. No rate cut equals more pain possible. Historical pattern shows Bitcoin often rebounds after sharp drops. 2022 crash led to 2024 rally. But nobody knows future. Crystal ball broken. Ant learned expensive lesson. Bitcoin, volatile. Leverage, dangerous. FOMO is trap. But Ant is still here. Ant survived the crash. Ant is wiser now. Maybe. Long-term holders say corrections are buying opportunities. Short-term traders say death cross means run away. Ant just wants money back. Queen says patience is virtue. Worker ant says patience doesn't pay rent. Both have valid points.